Howdy folks, so hello again if you are watching this in connection to the blog I recorded this week, or if you're just watching this as a standalone, hello. So what I wanted to do was give a sort of quick guide. I've been asked this by a few people on how to get started actually putting together a video blog. And I'm going to talk about it specifically in relation to a DDP Yoga video blog, because that's what I started. Now I actually started this, just to give you a tiny bit of history. I just lost my first £100. Well, my only £100 really. I'm down 160-ish right now. But I had mailed Dallas to thank him for the program, and he rang me up. And in the course of the conversation I was having with him, I mentioned that my parents were coming over in like 2 or 3 weeks from then, and it would be the first time they'd seen me since I started the program. To which Dallas said, and I'm not going to do an impression of him here, because I've met the guy in person and I don't want to have to explain an impression of him. But he said, "Oh, bro, you totally have to record that when they see you for the first time." Now, at the time, I didn't have any recording equipment, but the conversation kind of spiraled from there, and the upshot was that he thought I should start doing a blog. And, you know, every other bit of advice I've taken from him for those first 6 months seemed to have worked. So, yeah, I decided to. Now, initial outlays. I bought a camera that is separate completely from my PC. It's just a little handheld number. It's I'll see if I can find a link to it on Amazon and actually post it with the video here. But it's a HD camera. It's a little handheld thing. Carries about 3 hours of footage if you're recording full HD. It's got its own built-in mic. And I think it was around €200, which would be about 300-ish US dollars. And it's expensive, but it's very, very useful, I've found. Now, obviously, this day and age, 99% of people have a phone with a camera in it. You can record footage on that as well. If you're just looking to do a video like this, where you're just sat in your house talking, you can just use a laptop with a built-in webcam, or just buy a webcam. That's going to be much, much cheaper. Just make sure you have a way of recording sound as well, be it a microphone, or, you know, most laptops have a microphone built in. You will need, if you're doing it that way, some recording software as well. I find if you buy a little handheld camcorder like this, most of those will come, these days at least, with a little bit of software with it that will let you move videos around. So it's up to you how much you want to spend, really. One of the problems I have with this camera particularly, and it's kind of a problem unless you're going to spend a lot of money, because you can spend, you know, anything from the amount I spent up to about £5 grand on a camera, which I wouldn't recommend doing for blogging, but you can do that. But one thing to look out for is see if you can get a port on the camcorder for a separate microphone jack, which I didn't. Now, it is a little bit more expensive, but what it saves you from having to do is clean up the audio if the motor for the camera actually starts showing up in it. Now, that isn't actually a problem with these videos, but we'll get into what I do about that if it does come up later. But yeah, that's pretty much all you need to actually get started. You know, a PC. Mac users, I'm sorry, I haven't actually done this on a Mac, but I'm informed it's even easier to do there than it is on a PC. But I haven't done it, so I'm going to stick to an explanation that's Windows-based. So once you've got your camera and you record your footage, now it's usually a good idea, I found anyway, to have an idea of what you're going to say before you go on camera. There's, you know, I'm not going to go too much into advice of what you should actually put in the video, but if you're doing an update, unless you have a specific topic that you want to sit and talk about, your update should be a fairly short-ish video. Just because I know from my own experience with the videos I've recorded, and quite frankly with the videos from people I watch, if you record a video that's an update on how you've been doing, and it's half an hour long, and there's nothing in that half an hour other than you sitting talking, and you're not talking on a topic, you're just telling me how your week was, I'm probably going to stop watching about 5-10 minutes in. Sorry guys, it's the age of the internet. That's kind of how our attention span works these days. Now, if you do want to record a longer video because you want to talk on a topic, that's fine. I do that quite a lot. And I'm aware of the irony of me telling anyone to make short videos, so there's no need for anyone to point that out. Or what you might want to do as a first video that I found quite fun, if you have someone to help you with this, is record a blog of you doing the 6 DDP yoga poses. Doing them live, as I put it. Now, I enjoy doing those because I tend to have Suze here helping me with those videos. Suze, if anyone's watching this cold, is my partner. I tend to have her helping me out with those, and you can have a bit of banter back and forth with whoever's holding the camera, and the whole thing becomes a bit more lively, so yeah, they can be longer videos. Oh, and I mean, when talking about buying equipment, actually, I am currently using a tripod to have the camera on here. You can usually get a good discount deal on buying the camera and the tripod together, and it is actually really useful to have one. If you go back and look at some of my blog videos where I haven't had it because we've been moving or whatever, the kind of hand cam thing where you have the camera out like this isn't particularly good. So, anything else about recording the videos? Yeah, don't get too worried about the blocking or anything like this, like look at the white space here. Unless you're a film student, or the person watching happens to be a film student, no one's going to care. So long as whatever you're trying to show can clearly be seen, and so long as people can hear you, which can be a problem, we'll get into that in a second, that's completely fine. So, you've gone out, you've recorded your vlog, what do you do next? It's on your camera, you need to get it onto the PC. So, most cameras that you get these days that use SD cards and store stuff digitally will either have a wireless connection that you'll need to set up, or they will have a port for a USB cable. Now, it's always worth checking when you buy the camera if it comes with the cable you need to connect it to the PC. Because, much like printers actually, a lot of the times these days, especially if they're quite cheap or on offer, the reason they're so cheap or on offer is because they aren't giving you the cables you need. Now you can pick those up quite cheap, although I would recommend going for a name brand, preferably the same brand as your camera if you can get it. And I'm not going to go into what kind of the different ports and stuff there are. You can go look that up for your camera. It'll be in the manual anyway. So once you've got it hooked up, you will probably have a piece of software that came with your camera that will download the video onto your PC for you. Now, it is entirely up to you, depending on how you put the video together. You can just put that video straight up online, and we'll go into how in a second. I would not recommend doing that, because you're going to have bits at the start and the end that you want to remove. You might have bits in the middle that you want to cut out. You might have a photo of yourself or something, especially if you started doing these videos like I did after after your day one, like I was 6 months in when I started recording. You might want to put a photo of when you were day one on the video. So you're going to want to do some editing with the video. Now, what I do, because my camera records sound quite quietly, which is beneficial because it doesn't have that motor problem I was talking about, but it does mean that you need to boost the audio a little bit. There is an awesome bit of free software called Handbrake, and I'll put the link on the video here, or below the video in the comment section, you know what I mean. And what that will let you do is that will let you load up the video file. It doesn't let you alter the images or anything like that, we'll get to that later, but you can then bump up the audio, and it doesn't give you that nasty background hiss or stuff that you will get from some of them. It's got a whole bunch of different options on there as well that I haven't really played with all that much, just to let you modify the file and store it in various ways. Honestly, I would leave those alone unless you've an interest and you want to sit there and play with them. But the one you're looking for is the audio gain option, and you can just boost that right up. Like I say, it's absolutely free software. It will work on any length of video. It's not one of these ones that restricts the video length you can play with. And that will give you a brand new file when you save it. Don't try and save over the original file. Video editing 101. If you've recorded the file and taken it off, especially if you've deleted it from the camera, if you've taken it and put it on your PC, never overwrite the original file. Because the time you do that is the time you discover there's a spelling mistake in a caption somewhere, there's a mistake you've made, you haven't clipped enough off the start or the end, Or maybe you just want the original file for something. Maybe you're cutting out something that you liked personally. I have, from that blog I did where I met Dallas backstage in Cork, I have a load of footage of me and Dallas talking that I really personally like to have, but I don't want to put up online. So it's important that you do keep your master files. Make sure you have a folder somewhere that you aren't going to delete. You might even, if you think you're going to have a lot of video files, and the video files can get quite big as well, you might want to look at getting a separate hard disk for them. That is entirely up to you. It is an extra expense. So you've got your file, you've run it through Handbrake, you've got the boosted audio file. Now you want to do the editing you see me do on these videos, where maybe I put in the little captions and stuff like that, or I clip bits off the start, clip bits off the end. The best one to go and look at, actually, if you want to look at editing, is the video that me and September did. Which I will again probably link under this video. Now, that video, that conversation effectively did not happen in that order whatsoever. And, you can go and look at that video. I'm not claiming to be a professional video editor. I'm not. But that video right there is about the level of editing you can do with a free piece of software called Windows Movie Maker. Comes installed in Windows 7. I think it doesn't come installed by default in Windows 8, but you can go get it online. And honestly, for a free piece of software, it's fairly powerful. You can use it to do any of the effects you see on my videos. It is the only piece of video editing software I use. So once you have that installed, you might need to type in Windows Movie Maker in like Google or something to go and get it. But if you're in Windows 7, it's usually installed by default. Open it up. It'll let you drag and drop the video file that you've got on your desktop straight into it. It'll take a while to load. Video editing, even if you have a fairly fast PC, can be a fairly slow process. So if you have an older PC and you're doing a lot of editing and stuff, when you get to the final saving the file, you might want to leave it running overnight. Especially, like, I can see this file is already 12 minutes long. So even on my PC, which is a custom-built top-of-the-range gaming PC, because I like to game a lot, this is going to take a good few minutes to save and what have you. So when you're Movie Maker, drag and drop the video in. In Movie Maker, you can set where the file starts, set where the file ends. You can have the video fade in from black, fade out to black. All of the titles you see on my QFTV videos, all the captions you see on these videos, are all done with Movie Maker. Now, I'm not going to give you a tutorial on how to use Movie Maker. The help files for it are actually pretty good. What I would say is, it's far easier to use if you have in mind what it is you want to do. So long as you do, it is an awesome bit of software to use, and it's completely free. Now, make all the changes you want in Movie Maker to your file. At that point, save the file using Movie Maker. It offers the option to publish directly to YouTube. I do not recommend you use it. And we'll get into why in a second. So, let it save the file. That will take a good few minutes. While it's doing that, the best way to upload these files, especially if you want them on somewhere like TeamDDP, is to upload them somewhere like YouTube. YouTube is famous at this point. I doubt anyone watching this video is going to need an introduction, especially as that's probably where you found this video. YouTube requires you to have a Google account. They're free. If you don't have one, sign up for one. There's no reason not to. They aren't going to sell your information down the river or anything daft like that. But once you have that, you can upload videos. Now, you can't upload videos over 15 minutes at first, I believe. You have to go and request that, but so long as they don't have a reason to tell you you can't, i.e. you haven't been banned for posting like 3-hour movies or something on YouTube previously, they will allow you to post 15-minute videos. Interesting warning, in fact, if you do decide to post your video from Movie Maker, if you try and post to YouTube a video that's longer than 15 minutes, even if your account on YouTube is enabled for it, it will still warn you and say, this video is longer than 15 minutes. So long as you know you've gone ahead and enabled YouTube to allow that, you can just click OK on that message. Something I didn't talk about actually was what resolution do you save your video in? Now, I save all my videos in Full HD, and I upload them in Full HD. I have the best internet money can buy in Ireland right now. So, what if you've never done this kind of thing before? You have two speeds that you get when you have an internet connection. You have your download speed, which is the one they usually advertise, which is the 20 meg down, 30 meg down. I'm quite flash as I say, I have 200 meg down. But there's another one you'll have with that, which is your upload speed. Now, your upload speed is usually about a tenth of your download speed. So that's quite slow compared to what you're used to. So if you think of, like, if it takes you a minute to download a 100 meg file, it's going to take you 10 minutes to upload a 100 meg file. Again, one of the reasons my videos are so long when I post them, I am blessed with a 20 meg upload speed, which is, again, pretty much the fastest residential speed you can get in Ireland. But it's just something to be aware of when you're saving the resolution of your videos. Maybe you want to save a few of them at different resolutions and watch them, see how you think it looks. I mean, it's another reason why I wouldn't use that publish option in Movie Maker, actually. Always make sure that you watch your videos before you publish them. Just spelling mistakes, maybe something in the background that was a bit awkward, something along those lines. There are plenty of famous stories out there about usually pro video game players who kind of had a screen with pornography or something in the background that they kind of forgotten was there. Not that I'm suggesting anyone watching this video will watch pornography. But yeah, just always double check your videos before you put them up. Just make sure, the last thing you want is your partner fresh out of the shower walking along in the background when you and she didn't notice before it goes on YouTube. Yeah. So, you have a YouTube account. When you go into YouTube and sign in, you will now have a button at the top of the screen that says Upload. It's really simple. Click on that button. You will then have a space into which you can drag and drop your video. When you do that, it will start uploading. Now again, this can be a fairly long process depending on your upload speed. At this time, you can change the title of the video, you can add a comment for the video, and if you have a blog like this one, I would always add a link to your blog in the comment section. You'll also have an option called tags, which is based on, it's like a set of keywords for your video effectively. So if someone was typing DDP Yoga into the search window in YouTube, and your video had DDP Yoga in the tag, your video will come up. Obviously, the searches they do are based on popularity, relevance, etc. So if you're a first-time blogger, your videos will be fairly far down. What I would recommend doing is probably putting in a tag that is personal to you, so you can find your videos. Now, it's no secret. I always put Hero DDP on my videos, because it means if I want to do a quick search and find all of my videos without necessarily jumping into the video manager for whatever reason, that will just bring up a search of all my videos. But your tags can be whatever, and put in a lot. You can put in as many tags as you like. I don't think there's a limit on YouTube. I've certainly never hit it. You could also set the tags to be loaded by default on every video you upload directly into YouTube. You can't do that with Movie Maker. It's another reason I would recommend uploading to YouTube directly. You'll also have options like you can post videos as private, which means no one can access them but you. You can post a video as unlisted, which means only people you give the link to can watch the video on YouTube. Bear in mind that means that anyone they give the link to can also watch the video. It just means that there's nowhere publicly, like your video doesn't show up in searches and stuff at that point. Or there's public, which is posting a video on YouTube for all to see. So set the options that you want to set there. You'll then have to click publish. Now you can publish on YouTube now while your video is uploading. So you can click publish and it will just go up and then you'll go away. Once it finishes uploading, YouTube then takes anything between like 5 minutes and an hour to actually process videos. That is to get them actually physically up on site. But don't worry about it. If it seems to be taking a while, that just means a lot of people are uploading videos to YouTube at that point. And congrats! That is your first video on YouTube. Now, I'm not going to go into how to set up a blog and stuff here, but obviously once the video is up on YouTube, you want people to see it. Put it on Facebook, if that's where you want people to see it. Put it on Twitter. If you have a Blogger account like this, post it on Blogger. Blogger is actually owned by Google, so it's really easy to put YouTube videos on. If you want to upload it to Team DDP, if you sign into your Team DDP Yoga account, you have an option called Videos. Click on that. There's an option called Add Videos. Click on that. At the bottom of there's a link that says Add a Video from YouTube. Click on that and paste in the link, the URL, from your own YouTube video. And click OK. You'll then get a whole set of options up, which are basically just the YouTube options again. If you're happy with everything there, click OK. It then goes off to be approved. I think Rob does it, I'm not sure. Don't pester him to approve your video. It takes a few days usually, maybe a week at the outside. But then your video is up for all to see. Now, what I would love to say, guys, is what I love, guys, is watching other people's videos on Team DDP. It's awesome to see other people blogging. It's awesome. It's very inspirational. And especially if any of my blogs have helped you, or if this video has helped you decide to get a video up, it's showing you how simple it actually is, I would love to see that. So please send me any questions you've got. If you'd like any help editing a video, or even any help using Movie Maker, please feel free to contact me. My links will be on the comments for the video, or you can just add a comment to the blog. That's absolutely fine as well. But it's absolutely simple to do. If you are really into the idea of your story inspiring people, or maybe just using it as a form of accountability for your DDP yoga, do not be afraid of putting up a video just because you think it's too complicated. All the explanation I gave you there is all you need to get started. Well, that and a little bit of help for reading. That's everything though, guys. Like I say, any questions, do let me know. For now though, peace. I'm out.